I mean, I could definitely see it being fake at the time, like
Yeah.
just to beat it. Like it makes sense that you'd just be like, look, this isn't working. Let's just throw something
Yeah,
together.
like we need to do this.
Right.
Like last minute they're like it's not going to fucking happen. So,
Right. So plan B.
yeah.
I could definitely see that.
So some people say that the flag looked like it's flapping in the wind and that wouldn't happen in
Oh.
space because there is no wind in space. Um and they're like some people say that that's like if you look at the flag in still pictures, it looks like it's flapping in the wind, but there's no wind on the moon. And then they say that it isn't flapping and it's not a normal flag because it has like a horizontal bar across the top, which actually I put a picture in for Sarah.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
see the bar,
Yeah.
but like I guess I don't understand why it would look like that then. But some people say that like he was moving it when he put it up or something, but I don't know, something about it like I don't know.
I thought though that the Mythbusters did this where they put a flag in a vacuum chamber
Uh-huh.
and like because of the pressure, I guess it still kind of looks like it's
Flapped.
moving even though it's not.
Yeah, but there's also no gravity.
Right. I'd have to rewatch the episode. I mean,
I
I
know.
thought
I
they
mean,
because it didn't just be stuck still or like it did have some motion to it. I don't remember why, but they also could only do it in a vacuum chamber.
I
But
also do not remember. Feel like I have never heard of this horizontal bar and I have never seen pictures of it. But like here's a picture in front of me and all the
yeah,
sources I looked at. But like I
you can
don't
definitely
ever
see
remember
it.
them talking about a horizontal bar. Also,
No, but we weren't alive.
side note, but yeah, but I've looked at this before. Side note, I googled moon landing faked and there was not a single article in support of the moon landing being faked. It is all the moon landing isn't faked. And I
Oh,
even used DuckDuckGo and I still couldn't find anything. And to me, that seems weird.
that does seem weird. Because people talk about it being fake. You think something would come up.
Right.
Yeah,
Even on like DuckDuckGo, which isn't supposed to be like
right.
I get on Google, they're suppressing information for sure.
Yeah,
But DuckDuckGo's not supposed to be like that, and
right.
I don't
That is
know. I
weird.
also did use History Channel for these, so like that's probably not a good source to find
Oh,
information
right. The other,
for.
right. That's probably true.
But you can I swear I've never heard of this horizontal bar. I heard that like they were
Mandela
just
effect.
flapping it. Dude, it feels like Mandela effect, but I
Yeah.
think it's probably just planted government information. Now I sound crazy for real.
Well, yeah, because how would it be flapping in the wind if it's got a bar on it?
Right. Like I don't
Also,
ever remember hearing that.
but what I wouldn't if they're doing this in a studio, why would they have wind? Like why would they? Because like for the way it looks like it'd be like like it's actually flapping in like wind, like not just
Yeah,
air
I don't
conditioning or
know.
whatever. So like that seems like weird
They
that they would
probably
purposely
didn't
do
think Americans
that.
were
Oh,
smart enough.
yeah, but maybe Russians. They gotta prove it to the whole world.
Yeah.
So it does seem weird that it would even, if it was faked, that it'd be flapping either.
Yeah.
But what's the next? What's another one?
The next one is they think it's fake because there you can't see any stars in the background.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
but like they say that like there's no stars or you would see stars in the picture, but if you've ever used a camera before, like think about first of all think about the cameras that they had back then, like they're
Right.
not that uh high tech. Like they don't have like the exposure on the cameras was so
Right. Yeah, that
yeah,
makes
and like
sense.
the spacesuits are bright white, so that's gonna like draw more
Right.
than um draw more like light basically than stars would. Um
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, I feel like, well, I have light pollution, I guess. I feel like if I tried to take a picture of just the sky,
you wouldn't see any stars.
right, you wouldn't really see stars.
Right. Like you
So,
need like a really like a long exposure camera basically to get like people
right,
obviously take pictures of stars, but they have to set their camera specifically for that. And if the intention here was to take pictures of the moon and there's like them,
right,
then of course it wouldn't show up.
right. Especially back then, cameras are not good. So,
Right.
okay.
And then the next one is like the shadows like go in all different directions, which I've
Oh,
seen like better pictures of this where it's like some shadows come from one way, some come from another way, and they basically said that like that's more what you would see in like a film studio, right?
yeah.
Like multiple light sources. Um but like basically the explanation for that was there's the sun, there's the earth reflecting the sun that's creating a light source, and
Oh,
then there's also the lunar module that has lights on it too,
oh,
that is also like a third light source.
okay.
Um,
I guess that could make sense.
yeah,
Yeah, you probably don't think of how bright the Earth could look.
right.
I
Like,
mean,
if you think about it, like, look how bright the moon is. Why wouldn't the
right,
Earth be just as bright? I
right.
mean, I know the moon's like white, but
But still, yeah. I mean, obviously the moon creates shadows when it's full, so
right,
yeah, that makes sense. And you have the sun,
yeah.
so okay.
And then the next one is like specifically in this picture, like you can't see Armstrong's camera. Um, like in
Yeah.
the reflection of his spacesuit, basically.
Okay.
And it says you can't see Armstrong's camera in the reflection in Aldrin's visor. And some skeptics have pointed out that he does not appear to be holding a camera, so someone else must be taking the picture. But wouldn't you just see someone else taking the picture in the reflection then? Uh,
Well, I mean, you see the other guy and his
right.
hands up, isn't it?
I can't really see.
I mean, it's so bright white that it probably just
It
overexposed
just,
the whole
like, yeah, it
thing.
looks like a blob. That's such a sick
Right.
picture, though.
That is cool. I don't know. I feel like his arm's kind of up.
Yeah, it
He
looks
could
like
be
he could
holding
be taking.
something.
Yeah. And like the explanation for that is that actually the camera is mounted on the front of his spacesuit,
Oh, it does
which was
not.
where his hands were in the reflection. And that does like look like it. Like
Oh,
his hands are like
oh,
at chest height or like belly.
yeah. I see that. That does. Yeah, I could see that then.
Yeah.
What are
And
those
then
other things in his visor? What are those like bright white things? Like three of those? What is
I
that?
think one of them is the flag.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the other one is.
I don't
And
know.
then the
And the guy.
yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Um and then people also think that Stanley Kubrick filmed the moon landing.
Oh.
Because he directed 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Mm.
and it was like very realistic, and it was so compelling that people wondered if they had hired him to film the moon landing on a soundstage.
Oh, okay.
Um, the thing is, the moon landing footage didn't look real because Kubrick filmed it. It looked real because Kubrick enlisted astronomical artists and aerospace engineers to help him with it. So,
Right.
like,
With the movie, yeah.
yeah. So basically, it's kind of reversed.
Right, because his
That,
movie's in 2001, right?
yeah. No, the movie's called
When did
2001:
it
A
come
Space
out?
Odyssey, 1968.
Oh, the year before.
Yeah.
I see.
But I have heard like that it was possibly filmed at No, I blanked. We'll just skip that part.
Okay.
I don't know. And
Yeah.
didn't do you remember that one Shane Dawson moon landing? That one he did one video and they had a guy from NASA saying we couldn't go back to the moon even if we
Yes.
tried
Right.
because we don't have the technology anymore, and it's like how
Right.
the fuck do we not have that
Like
technology
they
anymore?
destroyed
We
it
have
all.
better technology. Yeah.
Right.
And they destroyed the original tapes.
Yeah.
And they like there's like a lot of evidence covering up that happened here if it did like if they did fake it, and everyone just says, "Oh, you
Right.
must be crazy to think they landed on the moon."
I mean,
Not that they didn't land on the moon.
right. Yeah, I think it is. I don't know. I know they got rid of all the evidence and that they said we wouldn't be able to do it now even if we wanted to, which does not make any sense.
No, why wouldn't we be able to? Fucking Elon
Right.
Musk is trying to go to Mars. Like, we're landing stuff on Mars. Why can't we put people back on the moon? Why
Right.
can't they must have all the blueprints? They could literally just rebuild the thing they already had, couldn't they? Like,
Right. They should be able to.
or re-engineer it better? Like, what?
Right. I mean, yeah, by now we should have already had a person on Mars.
Right.
So,
Cuz it never fucking happened.
mm,
We had a goal that we had set,
right.
and how embarrassing would it be if
Right.
we didn't do it?
Yeah, against the Soviets. Like, come on.
Yeah. You know, the one thing that the United States hates is
Right.
being embarrassed. And the Soviets. Like,
Yeah. Because they already beat us with the two other things.
and I think they were close.
Yeah, I think they were. Did they just give
I
up?
don't know. We think about all the stuff they did in the Cold War, like, no doubt in my mind, absolutely no doubt in my mind that they either faked it or at least talked about faking it.
Yeah, it was at least on the table for sure.
Yeah,
So how are you supposed to know? How can you
right.
trust?
And maybe they really did it and the video is fake. Because how the fuck
Oh
did they get
yeah.
video? How did they get a video? I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this, but how did they get a video with no
Like,
wires? You're
because it was
telling
live,
me,
right?
yeah. How did they
Yeah.
have the ability to do that? Fucking people were still using party lines on their phones. On their,
Right.
like, I don't understand how they could have even done that.
That's true. I'm looking it
And no
up.
one would have questioned it at the time because back then people were so obedient to the government. Like, it was a completely different mindset. Everyone was rallied together. Like, the
Yeah.
second you said anything against the government, you were a commie. Like, Red Scare. Like, everyone was afraid to even think. Like, people wouldn't even think this.
This says the lunar roving vehicle had a high gain antenna and the camera signal was sent to Earth directly from that.
Liar, liar.
But then
Pants on
how is
fire.
it not live?
Exactly.
I need to put live TV, not to Earth. Did we have satellites?
Must have.
Right, we had to have had. Well, yeah, because the Sputnik was a satellite, right? So we were doing satellites
Yeah.
already. It does say the pictures were uploaded to Earth orbiting satellites, then transmitted back to NASA's, like to Houston, and then through other satellite links, they were sent to TV receiving centers around the world.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't believe it.
Right. I mean, yeah, I could see it being real or fake, and we're never gonna actually know, but it's like
No.
so believable to be either.
Right. I'm team faked. I just think there's like motive,
Oh yeah.
and it's so suspicious that it's 1969.
Yeah. Right. They had like 6 months or 5 months
Yeah.
left. Yeah. I am very suspicious. But I
But
guess I'm
yeah, I
hedging.
mean